Johnson, who heads up Sprint's Emerging Devices unit. So emerging devices, or M2M communications, has been a big topic this week. Where is Sprint seeing the most growth?
You know, the growth is really quite explosive. As we take a look at all around us at CTIA, it's almost every category, if you will. We're seeing lots of interest in machine-to-machine. What we've done is we've put 4 broad categories where we're seeing explosive growth. The first one is connected transportation. So connected transportation, we define it very broadly. Cars, trucks, taxis, vans, buses, trains, anything that's moving. So if you think about that experience, it's going to become more and more connected. And so infotainment kinds of things, and from an enterprise perspective, reducing fuel costs, distracted driver safety, that's a whole area that's been a big theme here at CTIA, is just talking about all the different machine-to-machine solutions that you can embed wireless to help provide driver report cards, that you can help provide report cards on how your children are driving, and to help reduce your costs in terms of dispatching fleet most efficiently. So that's one broad category on the connected transportation side that we're seeing explosive growth. The other categories that we're also seeing it is connected machine screens and things. So digital signs. We had an announcement with MediaTile with a human kiosk. That's a kiosk that you would typically interact with a touchscreen, but also has a human element. So with our 3G, 4G network, you can actually have a display of that information and then talking with a live person. So think about a hotel lobby, talking to a concierge, and then want to talk in language. So you could have a person that could talk across 30 or 40 different languages on the remote end as you check in. So quite an explosive area in that area. The third segment is connected meters and sensors and alarms. So the meter that's on the side of your house from a smart grid perspective, sensors, machines turning on, machines turning off, that whole sensoring space is quite interesting, and certainly security. Video surveillance, helping enterprise and consumers protect their property, protect their assets. And then the finally one is probably the one that carries the most buzz at CTIA and perhaps CES, is the personal connected devices. So these are the devices that you might interact with from a consumer's perspective. E-readers, gaming, healthcare devices, different kinds of applications that we're seeing that are going to explode. So that's another area that we're seeing as far as those 4 broad segments of growth in the M2M area.
Okay, so it seems like you've kind of covered a lot of ground. Pretty much any device that can connect will connect, it sounds like. Who pays for that? What's the business model?
It's a good question, and that's often what we'll kind of work with application developers or enterprises of what is their business model. You start off with what's the channel that they want to utilize in terms of the selling proposition. Are they going to utilize Sprint's channel, or is it their channel? Do they want to use, which branding approach do they want to take? Is there content associated? So perhaps there may be a bill that they would receive from the application provider. It might be tied in with content. So if you think about the e-reader space, when you purchase a book, part of that offsets the digital transaction of that. So we're seeing a broad variety of business models that are quite unique based upon the car or the smart grid or the digital sign or whatever that device is that we're lighting up.
Okay. Well, and Sprint's also unique in that you have multiple networks and you operate them in sort of a multimodal fashion. So does M2M, is that relegated to one network, or is there some devices that will go across a few of them?
Yeah, it's really broad. And it's very unique by category and by segment. There's a number of machine-to-machine solutions that would operate on a 2G network. So if you think about a sensor that you're turning on, turning off, it's sending a low level of bits or data to the network. So in that situation, a 2G or a 3G network might be perfectly suited for that. On the other broad spectrum, like the MediaTile example with the human kiosk, where you're doing video transmissions, video security, digital signs, where you see a digital billboard that's providing high definition content, will really take advantage of a 4G network. And one thing that we think at Sprint is we're very well positioned because we have a broad spectrum of 2G and 3G and 4G solutions that we can pair appropriately with the M2M solutions.
Seems like with the different networks, the different business models, and the number of devices, that's a lot to manage. Do you expect growth to plateau, or is this just a kind of an upward trajectory?
And I talked with one partner, and his perspective of the machine-to-machine space is that he was 1% done and 99% growth.
Okay.
So there is a huge explosion here with machine to machine, and many of the devices today are not connected at all. So on those cars that I mentioned, only 4% of cars are connected today. Only 18% of trucks and semis are connected today. So that's a huge hockey stick growth opportunity that we have as an industry to take advantage of with M2M.
Okay, great. And I guess finally, is there any one device or one application that you're really looking forward to seeing connected?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny. We announced yesterday an application with Ideal Life, and it's the whole area of healthcare and remotely monitoring. You know, healthcare becomes a very large expense, both from us personally as well as for enterprises that want to provide effective coverage for their employees. And what we did with Ideal Life is we announced a product that will enable you to wirelessly remotely manage your health. So we have a CDMA module that actually fits inside this device, and then you have different appliances or devices that connect to this and then go off to the cloud. So for example, if we wanted to send your physician the latest status of your health care, here's an O2 sensor, and I swear this will not hurt, but it will basically track your pulse and track your O2, and then take that information, send it into the gateway, and then that information will go back up to the network.
Okay.
So it kind of provides you that information, if you will. So we can send O2 information, we can send your blood glucose, we can send your weight, we can send a variety of different information up to your healthcare provider. So when you think about remotely managing your health, I think that's a great opportunity that we have to reduce our healthcare costs. And I see your oxygen there is doing very well. It's 97, so that's fantastic.
Don't report my weight though. All right, Tom, well thank you very much.
Pleasure, thank you.